Okay, welcome everybody to the Thursday Inside Real Estate Success webinar. If somebody could just let me know you can hear me really quickly, just make sure everything's working right. You can see my screen, I hope. There should be a Google Doc on there. So just let me know if you can see me. Annalisa, are you here with me today? Maybe not yet. Yeah, if somebody could just say you can hear me, and then I'll send you guys all a copy of the doc in the window, the notes. I'll be able to reply and send that to everybody. And what we're going to talk about today is the recent announcements from Facebook. We had just done a Facebook retargeting webinar on Tuesday, and then yesterday they came out with this big news. So it seemed appropriate to kind of talk about implications of that news with their targeting for housing. And I think it ties nicely into what we were doing on Tuesday, which was a webinar about retargeting. If you missed Tuesday's content, you can always get it. We record all of these on our playlist, and I'll be sure to send that to everybody. Can somebody just let me know you can hear me? Nobody has replied yet. Just somebody just go into the chat box and say, yes, I can hear you. Thank you. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Liz. All right, awesome. So I'm going to send you guys all the note right now. Go to webinar makes me talk to somebody in order to send everybody the notes. And then somebody's saying they can't see me, so I'm going to refresh the screen share right there. And you guys should be able to see the document up on the screen, and we will get going right now. So basically, here's the situation. This is probably going to be a short one today, by the way. I think there's not a lot to cover here, but I just wanted to do this live and take any questions and answers about it. Basically, what's going on is that Facebook is having sort of a reaction, I guess, to some of their recent troubles. As my opinion is, they might be overcompensating, but they're basically restricting some of the stuff we can do with real estate mortgage, with housing ads, and they're removing some targeting options that they feel could cause problems. And some of the stuff that they're removing is the ability to target by zip code, target by gender, and target by age, which I know a lot of us have used for years. And I've gotten a lot of private messages on Facebook. There's been some discussion in our Facebook groups, like, what do we do about this? And figured this would be a good forum to kind of do it on. So um, just curious, how many people on right now are actively running your own ads on Facebook? Um, and have you heard of this? Have you heard this news about the changes? Are you freaking out, or does it really just not matter? All right. Well, all right. The tough audience participation day. All right, I'll keep going. All right. So one big thing about this that I heard is that a lot of this isn't going to be happening until the end of the year. And this has happened in the past when Facebook makes a big change like this. It's not like they're going to go into all your existing campaigns and suddenly turn them off. So don't worry about that. Seems like it's something that they're rolling out over, the next few months, and the plan is to have it all in place by the end of the year. And the way that you'll know that there's an issue is that they'll basically just tell you. You'll try to run an ad where you're running an ad for a property or a property search, and their bots will be able to tell it was about real estate somehow, and they'll say, hey, you can't have that targeting for this kind of ad. You'll get something like that. Todd's saying, yeah, not a big deal. And yeah, that's kind of it, Todd. This really isn't a huge deal. There's just some things you can do to kind of adjust the way you're running your ads to get around it. Now, one thing that I've heard, and maybe it would help, I think it would help if I brought up the dashboard. So let me bring up really quickly the Facebook ads dashboard. But one thing you could do, and I've heard people recommend this, is simply target by dropping a pin for a location, then doing a radius around that. Now, to me, that kind of seems counterintuitive, because I think the spirit of this was to stop some of the, I don't know, stuff like redlining is what they might be afraid of, right? Something where you're targeting certain areas at the expense of others, and I don't know what their logic is. Wouldn't dropping a pin allow you to do that even more efficiently than using zip codes? But for now, it seems like you'll still be able to drop a pin and target a radius. So I figured I'd just kind of show you how to do that if you want to. I have this note, doesn't defeat the purpose. So what you would do, let's go ahead and just create a quick mock ad. So we go into our dashboard. We'll do a quick traffic objective ad right here. Facebook ad demo. And this is kind of what's going away, right? So you'll probably still be able to go in here and pick an age, because it's only for housing ads. It's not going to change what you're able to do. Your ads will be kind of banned or not approved, right? So they'll probably be doing some human review, or they'll have some bots or some way of doing this. They already kind of do it in some ways. Like it's kind of challenging to run mortgage ads sometimes. For example, if you use the word loan or finance, things like that throw off their triggers sometimes. You're not going to be able to just target by age. So your best practice is going to be just leave it like this, all age. You're not going to be able to pick men or women. You're just going to leave it to all genders. They've already gotten a little tight about targeting languages. We've experienced this with the ads department here at Inside Real Estate, where we've tried to run some Spanish targeted ads where we're targeting Spanish speaking people, or and they've turned us down. They said you can't do that with a housing ad. So some of this has already been going on. And those are the main things. Now, if I can't pick zip code, I can still pick city. So you can still type in Tampa. You can still type in a county. So in most cases, that's going to be most of us are only, are happy to get a lead anywhere in our town, right? Unless we're in really big metros. Um, and you can always, of course, do the drop pin thing that I'm talking about, which is right here. You see where it says drop pin? So I could do drop pin, zoom in. And as I was just saying, to me, this just seems kind of wild that they would still allow this and not zip codes. So it could be that they realize that too soon enough, and you won't be able to drop a pin. But I've heard some rumors that this is the solution in one way. So I could go to my town here, say I only want this neighborhood, drop a pin, and target within 1 mile of that pin, like so. Lorena's saying she can't see me. Might be hidden. Sometimes if you're on these webinars, it might be hidden underneath another screen. It comes up, but I think most people can see me. If anybody else can't, let me know. But I'm not hearing any other feedback. So Lorena, maybe try logging back in and log in. And I promise you, all of this will be in the replay link when we send it out. So yeah, it happens though. Go to webinar can be glitchy. So yeah, you can drop a pin. That's one answer to this problem that they're taking away the targeting. Um, So another answer is going to be to target county and city, um, right there. And the final answer right here is to just chill and let the algorithm do its thing, which is kind of the big moral of this story. And that is that we all know that the bots, AI is taking over the world. And Facebook, Google, a lot of these ads platforms are actually in a lot of ways at the forefront of this. So um, I have personally run tests. I've heard of other marketers. Travis Tom had a video out yesterday, Facebook guys, where I just didn't do any targeting at all to see what happened. So just pick, say, a city or a county and do no targeting at all, and have noticed still good results. So don't think that not having an area or zip code targeting will hurt. In a lot of cases, it might do just fine. And the thing about the algorithm and the AI is that it's going to kind of learn for you who is most interested in that offer and try to show them your ads. And the reason you do that, it's not to be nice, it's so that you get the highest quality traffic and visitors to your site possible, so that you get clicks and leads and results. And then Facebook knows that since their algorithm did a good enough job, that you're going to want to keep spending money with them. So this chill and let the algorithm do its thing is probably the biggest takeaway here with all of this, is not to worry too much about it. Other options you have would be to upload custom audiences, right? So I think Annalisa threw some links in here, 24 ways to join. So there's some extra links, but basically, we're on Tuesday's webinar. We'll make sure you have a link to that. You can upload a list of your past clients. You could upload a list of if you have a leads list, you can upload them into Facebook and actually create, either directly advertise to those lists or create lookalikes if you want to. So,
And if I
go
could just say a second. On the 24 ways and 23 ways to generate leads, it's going to have links to show you how to grab that information from Google, LinkedIn, etc. So there's all of these different methods you can use to grab in that information, import it into your system, do retargeting. There's a lot of tools within those that you should probably take a look at. So it's good stuff.
Yeah. So, yep. And what I'm talking about here is this audiences. We talked about it Tuesday. You click this little hamburger in Facebook. You just drop down. We click audiences, and you can still target. Basically, if you want to target a list of homeowners in the area, you could maybe upload your past clients list and then do a lookalike like audience off that. So right here, you see where it says lookalike. When I create my audience, I could choose an existing lookalike, an existing audience, and then create an audience that looks similar to that. So it's going to be one is going to make it look one is going to give you the closest matches out to 10. So that might be one way to go about it. But again, the algorithm is going to do its thing for you if you kind of just let it run. These are just other options. So upload a custom list, create lookalikes, and so on. Um, Now, as I was kind of thinking about this yesterday and this morning to prepare for this, and the reason I wanted to do this content, this kind of pushed me in a direction that I've been going in actually behind the scenes here at Inside, just the way I've been thinking and have talked to other marketers about. And one of the problems with Facebook ads in general is that you don't get high intent people, right? A lot of times you've responded to Facebook ads and you know people are replying to your ads, kind of just being interrupted in their stream. They're busy laughing at funny cat pictures that their friends are posting or noisy political stuff, right? Then they're kind of scrolling through like this. You know, you see a picture of your niece and you're liking that, but then all of a sudden you see real estate ad and you're like, oh, that house looks cool. It's in my neighborhood. You click on it. But when you do that behavior, you don't necessarily have that intent, right? You're not trying to buy a house tomorrow. A lot of the frustration we hear from people who say use our Facebook ads in house is like, hey, I'm not getting a lot of people who want to buy a house tomorrow. And that's just because of the nature of the beast. Facebook is a lower intent lead, also gives you a great way to put a lot of people into your database affordably. So one way to kind of flip the switch here, Facebook is making it harder to target, really sophisticated with targeting, would be to not even try to get initial click from Facebook. And I'm not saying that this is how you have to do it. I'm just saying it's an idea. And the idea would be to create high intent clicks from other traffic sources, then retarget from Facebook. And before we came on, I was making this little graphic. I'll share this with the replay. I got to kind of clean it up a little bit. But it kind of looks like this. Let me see if I can make it clear for everybody. Lisa, do you hear the kids in the background?
I hear joyous noise, I guess,
Good,
right?
good, good, good. That's
Yeah.
what I look at it too. Okay. Yeah. Well, anyway, yeah, there's some kids nearby. Well, I think it's a great sound too. So we have this graphic here. What I'm showing is high intent channels, the highest of which would be Google, right? So if somebody's clicking on a Google ad and they're clicking for Tampa, Florida real estate, that's high intent. They're kind of like actively searching and taking some extra effort versus scrolling in a stream on Facebook and just happening, to get distracted and click something. So we'd use Google. There are other channels like Twitter. You can still do some pretty sophisticated targeting on Snapchat. Bing is just like Google where people are searching terms. Craigslist, if you put ads in the Craigslist section in the real estate section of Craigslist, that's a pretty actually high intent person a lot of times. It's somebody who's going to that, you know, what do they call them in Craigslist? Like subreddit, right? Like I'm thinking
Yeah.
about Reddit, but
It's a pretty purposeful action to get into Craigslist. So they're there with an
exactly.
intent. Yeah.
Yep, they're going to that portion of Craigslist. So if you take traffic from all of those, use multiple different sources to send to specific properties or niche searches. That's the two that I would focus on in real estate is like 123 Main Street is for sale, just listed, and niche searches like, see a list of new construction properties, in Tampa. As this traffic hits your site, can create either one massive Facebook retargeting audience or a bunch of little segmented ones right there. Right. So, um, um, and then what you would do is you would then, for all of your Facebook advertising, you would only show ads to those people who showed some intent already from these sources up top. Make sense?
Yeah. And I did want to add, when you were talking about the radius, right? The pin.
Uh-huh.
One trick that I learned from one of our folks was if you have a home that you just sold or a listing that you just sold, you can say 123 Main sold in X amount of days, X overpriced, what have you, and then you can use a link to the valuation. If you
Oh,
could,
that's
and then
great.
and then target the people within a mile or two around that house that just sold, because then it's going to hit their neighbors. So you can think about different ways of applying that radius. to get those different audiences to attract the homeowners, to attract people who are motivated or what have you.
Great point. So yeah, it's probably a whole webinar actually. And I think we kind of did that in the circle prospecting one that's in the recordings.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that's a great idea. Use that and drop it. Just listed, just sold. Really cool.
Yep. It's cool. I can do it. I'll do a mock up later on it too.
Cool. So these audiences that you're building from the high intent channels, you're being built in Facebook now because you've got the pixel. I'll reference the webinar we did 2 days ago for the nitty gritty on how to do that. We also have a course in the learning portal about the basics of retargeting. Um, and you'll then start to show rich content ads that convert is what I'm calling them here. But basically what they are is they've already expressed some interest in real estate. So you'd show them a property booth, the property that you just listed, right? You'd show them an open house that you have this weekend. You show them cool things you can do on my website. You just do a tour of your site. We mentioned this the other day, where you talk about, how to search for motivated sellers using a keyword or something. You do a direct video of yourself saying, hey, just visit my site, come back or text me anytime you want, find your home value. And you can even get into some recruiting here. Hey, our team is expanding. If you've thought about getting a real estate license, I'd love to talk to you. But all of these ads would then only be shown to really targeted people who have already taken that first action. Your cost per lead on these is going to be a lot lower than if you just tried to do cold targeting with Facebook. So just a kind of side swing on that. Anybody have any questions or thoughts on kind of what I just said in this graphic? And again, I'll make sure that it's available in the replay and with the doc.
I haven't seen anything come through yet. However, I want to make sure everyone know you're welcome to interact and type in a question or drop us a line anytime. We really want to be here to help you work through these things as they pop up. So please feel welcome to participate.
Yep. So we have a link to the webinar from a few days ago. We have webinars about Bing, Snapchat, Twitter, and Google. Those are each going to be about 6 to 12 months old now. They're still content in those should be pretty relevant and updated, and we'll probably be touching upon those channels here again in the next few months, gradually. Other traffic sources. Oh, this is a great one, Annalisa. You snuck Spotify in there on me.
I sure did.
Yeah, we did a
And
webinar
print
about that.
media.
Yeah,
And print media, because there's so many ways.
so many ways. Spotify and Pandora. I have a
Yeah.
friend in radio who actually, I wonder if I can get him. He knows somebody at Pandora who sells ads. It's a really interesting channel, both of those. LinkedIn, Pinterest, print media, postcards, custom text codes on billboards and things like that. But so, other than Facebook, there's a little bit of hysteria. Oh no, I'm not going to be able to target. What do I do? There's just so many other ways to skin the cat here. Question. Imrana says, how do we get their contact info? So, if you're sending traffic directly to your site, so let's go to Eric's site here. The way we're getting contact info is directly through the opt-in form on your site. So if say you ran a Craigslist ad for you ran a Craigslist for this property, it's $2.5 million beach. Somebody comes here, start clicking around. They'll eventually be asked to log in. I'm already logged in, so it's not asking me. Let me log out. The contact info is gathered from your website, and that's kind of the big thing that our sites do, right? We're very focused on making sure these convert at a reliable rate for you. The other way you could get contact info, I think I heard Travis talking about this yesterday. He's another Facebook advertiser in real estate. And I've done this too, is you could retarget here, since you've already had the audiences, you can retarget with lead ads, the Facebook lead ad objective, where you get the name, email, phone inside of Facebook through their lead form, Facebook lead ads. And I think a lot of you guys on have heard about that. Let me see if I can get an example up on the screen. It's funny, they're not showing an example of a form here. Let's see. Here we go. So they have a little demo if you Google Facebook lead ads. And this is kind of what the experience looks like. Just imagine this is for real estate. It pre-fills the name, the email. You can even have people select the time to schedule with you if you want, and things like that. So that would be the second way, Imrana, to get the the contact info. No problem. Yeah. So what I was saying is, lead ads could be, if you want a cheaper lead from your lead ads, go high intent through Google, and retarget with a Facebook lead ad with this stuff, and I think you'll be pretty happy with the results. I've played with this a fair amount on the mortgage side of things, and it's a good process to follow. Cool. So yeah, I think that was kind of it. We don't need to go too long unnecessarily, just concise, what to do about this Facebook targeting thing. Takeaway, don't sweat it too hard. You can still maybe drop that pin. You can, build your own audiences. Consider only using Facebook for retargeting once you've got that initial high intent click. And this really isn't a huge problem. And at the end of the day, you probably don't need much target at all because the robots are smarter than we are, which is kind of scary, but it's another topic.
I mean, there was like all those documentaries that Arnold Schwarzenegger starred in, so it's coming, right?
It's coming.
No, but I wanted to say,
Terminator
like,
documentary.
yeah, yeah, just like
That
the
one.
Godzilla ones, yeah. If you scroll down a little bit on your sheet, I
Yep.
did place the previous related sessions for like Bing, Snapchat, Twitter, Google AdWords, text codes. I think these are really going to help people get an idea of how to utilize these around this change we're seeing with the Facebook process. So I think this will helpful stuff. You get your YouTube link and the doc that accompanies.
Yep.
And
Got a
Imran is
little
saying,
distracted.
it's all right.
Uh,
Imran is saying, hey, can we get a printout of this? So Imran, we and everyone else, we will be sending this recording out as soon as it's formatted in both of the discussion groups, as well as via your intercom chat via support. You'll get a little update from Marie, our person who runs those. And then also we'll email them out. I think it's approximately every Saturday. So it'll include the link and you'll also have the doc. So you'll get it, so you'll be able to access it and have fun.
and I sent it out to everybody just now. All of our replays, the link to that, anybody who's on live. So, um, great question here from Mike. Now that we're kind of great
Oh
time,
yeah, I talked with Mike, or I looked into this for Mike a little earlier, I think, right?
right? So, Mike's just asking,
Yeah.
you want to build days on market.
Well, he's really looking to have the keyword of days on market, motivated income to come up on the keywords on the back end via the
Oh,
listing filter. And I did not quite find it. However, I proactively submitted a feature request already, and I've talked with product about it because it is an important factor to jump in and have. You
I'm pretty sure
can do
that's
the
on
search. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
it's on the roadmap. And
Yep.
Mike, and for anybody watching, what Mike's talking about
Yeah.
is ability to use the keywords in squeeze links, which you can't do. But what you can do is kind of mess with the URL and
Mm-hmm.
add them into the URL, into your squeeze link URL. So what I'm talking about here, we got time. I'll just do a quick demo of this.
It's pretty cool, you guys, and I'll make sure we'll make sure this is out to you as well.
So the squeeze link feature is in your dashboard, but say you go to the front of your site and you type in the word motivated. This will allow you to basically search the remarks of all the listings in your MLS or in the IDX feed.
Did you put an
So if
area in?
yeah, I need to put an area in. Yep. So like that. So it's found 78 properties with motivated sellers. And what Mike was saying was the squeeze builder itself doesn't let you, put this into the squeeze link as you build the URL.
Right.
One thing you can do, it's a little bit of a pain right now, but you can go into your URL above here and mess with the parameters. And if you see, it's going to look small, but it says and keywords equals motivated. So you can actually add and keywords equals motivated to your squeeze URL that you build, and that'll work. And if anybody's getting this, Mike, like Mike, and you're getting really digging in and doing this and really need help, Annalisa and I are happy to do it anytime. Just go in the Facebook group and be like, hey, I'm trying to build a darn squeeze link, but I want to squeeze in these keywords. Can you help me get this going? And we'll do it, right, Annalisa?
And
We'll
I'll be
get it.
like, I'm here for you, caller, and then we'll get it done.
Yeah.
But what I'll do also is I can take a look at this link and maybe give a breakdown of what belongs to what. So when you break the link down into like little chunks, everybody can understand what speaks to what. So it's a little easier because it is a long, long link.
Yep. That's a great idea, actually. Yeah, do that.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. So
I'll
somebody's
get
asking
on that.
where the group is. Facebook.com/group/conversion. We kind of want to get this renamed, but they're taking a while to do it. But if you go to Facebook.com/group/conversion, you'll find the Inside Real Estate Success Strategies group, and we do all this kinds of stuff in that group for you. So,
Yep.
um,
And And in the doc, I put a link to the group as well as a link to, register for future webinars, find all of our past webinars with docs and videos, to really make it easy for you to find all of this content. So hopefully that will help everybody.
Great. I'm glad somebody around here is organized. This is good.
I mean, it's a good partnership.
All right. Well, are there any other questions? I mean, we don't need to take you guys too long. I had kind of thought this would be a shorter one just to get that first little bit out of the way about, the Facebook targeting stuff.
Yeah.
We are here and we'll hang out. If there are no other questions, we'll get going.
Oh, the suspension. No questions? Anybody?
Okay, great. We have a lot of feature updates coming. I got a peek over the next week, so stay tuned.
Yes.
There's a lot of stuff coming down the pike with respect to mobile and other things with the platform. So you stay tuned for that. I think you'll just see. I don't want to tease anything right now, but we look
I
forward to seeing you
mean,
again Tuesday.
it's kind of squee worthy or excitement worthy, some of it. So, I'm just going to say that.
So we'll see you again Tuesday, and I'll be emailing out the replay to this. We'll be emailing out the replay, and then Saturday we do an update email. Keep your eyes open for that with just everything that's going on with your conversion plus KV core. Just keep an eye out from that email. It comes from Morgan. Just gives you an update on all the things going on here at Inside Real Estate. And thanks again for being here.
Bye, everybody.
All right, bye, everybody.